welcome in to Bluegrass Sports Nation here from the Mike Holcomb Athletic Complex. I'm here with Coach Kyle Moore. Coach, it's not like we don't see each other enough coming and going from the field, but it's good to see you. I want to welcome you to the first installment here of the Kyle Moore Show on Bluegrass Sports Nation. Only place you're going to find it live, folks, straight from Kyle Moore's mouth right here on Bluegrass Sports Nation. Before we talk about this week, Kyle, let's first off talk about some of the positives, maybe some of the negatives, some of the things that the coaching staff and you learned in the first preseason scrimmages this year.
Yeah, we got a lot of our scrimmages, I felt like. We bringing in Pikeville here for the first scrimmage, and, a team that's, I think, been in the state championship game 3 out of the last 4 years, and just an extremely well-coached team and experienced. They brought quite a few guys back from that team last year that won a state championship, and I wanted to bring those guys in, and because that's where we want to be as a program, and we've been fighting and clawing to get back to that state championship, and it gives us a chance to see where we need to be at and what we need to improve on, and and we got to do that with Pikeville, and we broke the film down pretty good and cleaned up a lot of things that we needed to for the second scrimmage against multiple teams over there, but. I thought it went really well. We got out of it what we wanted to.
Good. I enjoyed the Pikeville. I enjoyed them being here. Like you said, a class act program. Anytime they come to town, some things are going to happen good for them, and you want to see how the guys react. And I think that showed going to McGoffin and going over there and really having some success against all the other 3 programs. That was a good format over there. I enjoyed that. Just a great couple of weeks really for the Bobcats as far as competition would go, and getting to see some new faces and some people on the field, and enjoyed both scrimmages, and I'm glad these guys had something to learn from it and you guys could work from that. Beautiful night here at the field. We opted to come outside and do this first installment of this show here and just get out on the stadium and have the backdrop behind us of the field. They're working on the field, getting ready for this week. Just to glance backwards, tell the viewers and maybe somebody that is tuning in from across the nation, tell the viewers how this program has made leaps and bounds and how they've grown in the last year from this time last year, the updates and the changes to the den, the field, and just the facility overall.
Yeah, just a little over a year ago with this, the whole field was underwater. Our facilities were destroyed. Our equipment was destroyed. We were really questioning if we were going to be able to play at all. And, through the help of a lot of people and being blessed by a lot of people and God being with us, we were able to kind of claw back. And last year was a struggle. Mm-hmm. We didn't have a locker room basically all year. We had some fold-up chairs sitting in there the guys sat on. But they came to work every day. They're a tough group. And they've battled a lot in the last several years, with the things that have gone on around us and COVID, a couple of years before that. And, to what we've got going on now was sort of a blessing in disguise to have those things. There's been a lot of positives come out of last year's tragedy. We got a big addition to our weight room and our football facilities over here. And the field is in great shape. It's been reseeded and redone. Our practice field has been redone. So it's just, a tremendous sight to see all the progress that's made. And, big thanks to our school system, our Board of Education and our administration and all those people. And everybody in our county and across the state have chipped in. And it's amazing.
There's so much going on and so much cleanup and work, and things have changed. Like you said, the field looks great. A really impressive structure that we've got just to the right of us here that I think myself is going to be a big boost for our kids and the whole program as far as the weight room and just organizing and having things that we need. The other thing I wanted to mention before we get into next week, the schedule. I mean, wow, there's no better way than to just say, here we are. This is what we're going to do. We're going to learn some lessons, and we're going to get better. And we got to play these people. And it's just like we talked about, coming up tomorrow night. We've got to play these type of programs. What was your thought process, and explain to the viewers on why it's important to play a schedule like this?
Well, I've been questioned a few times about that schedule.
Just a few?
Just a few times, yeah. People want to know who made that and or what I was thinking making that schedule. But, looking back at we're looking forward to where we want to be as a program.
Yeah.
We've came a long way, I feel like, but to get to that next level, I think you got to play really tough competition, and I think this schedule right here is that exemplified. We've got, I think, 5 teams or 5 programs that we're playing this year have all won state championships in the past. So, there's not too many schedules like that around here, and you may take some lumps on the way. Hopefully not. We're going to go in it to win them all.
Right.
And but the main goal is still at the end of the season.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the best way for our team to prepare to get to where we want to go. And I have all the confidence in the world in our guys. They've watched them all grow up and watched them all play, and I know what they're capable of doing. And we wouldn't schedule that if we didn't feel like we could compete like that.
Right. You talk about the schedule and the teams that have won state championships, and those folks that are on our list now. A couple of them have joined our district, and we want to welcome Somerset, and we want to welcome Danville. We're going to be making some trips to some fields that we've been to before. And what do you think about these new district folks?
Yeah, we definitely got a tough district. Bringing in Somerset and Danville, and keeping Leslie County in there. Leslie's a rival for us for a long time, and we've played several games against those guys when we were growing up. So real familiar. They're a good program also, and then. Danville and Somerset are 2 of those teams, like we talked about, have won state championships, and I get a feeling that once the program's won a state championship, they've always got it in them to do it again.
They can do it again.
So it's tough, but I think I think it's a good thing to have those teams in our district, and it's going to help us get prepared. And sometimes those tough games, even you learn more out of a tough game than you do an easy one. So we're looking forward to that and looking forward to the challenge.
Tomorrow night, that's the one that so many people have been waiting on, and they put an asterisk by it on the schedule and said, hey, I don't know what you're doing that night, but we need to make that trip over to Breathitt County because Belfry is playing Breathitt. So many people are going to be here tomorrow night taking in this game. Belfry comes knocking on the door here at the Mike Holcomb Athletic Complex. How do you prepare for a rivalry of this magnitude between Breathitt and Belfry? First game of the season.
Yeah, you can't hide the fact that we do have a rivalry with Belfry, and that's part of it, and that's part of high school football that makes it great.
Yeah.
We know those guys, and they know us really well, and I really think that our programs are pretty similar in a lot of ways. We're based on a lot of the same principles, tough, hard-nosed football and those things like that. But as far as preparation, we try to prepare the same way no matter who it is.
Yep.
It's even if it's a rivalry game, you got to kind of keep those emotions in check and make sure, especially against a Belfry team, you've got to be so disciplined throughout the course of a game. If you let your emotions get the best of you, then you're not going to be able to do your job. And so that's been a big point of emphasis this week. Well,
you just answered the next question. I said, how do you prepare the players that may not be accustomed to playing Belfry or know the Belfry rivalry? How do you work with those players and control their excitement during the week and make sure they don't get psyched out before Friday night? That's a big issue in a game like this, is making sure they stay focused and make sure they stay mentally prepared without getting too off tilt.
Yeah, there's a fine balance, and the game's changed so much since we played. When we were in high school, you would have a rivalry with a Belfry or with a Leslie or whoever, and you may know a guy's name, and most of you knew what number they were. These guys now are all friends on social media, and they know each other. They know each other's families and all those things. So it can be a little more personal, I think, now. So just trying to focus on doing your job and taking pride in being disciplined and doing that, and you just got to do it over and over and over.
Yeah.
And it's all about mental toughness.
What are some of the keys for your players to be successful here tomorrow night? What do you feel like some of the keys, just not individually but as a team, what do these guys need to do to come out successful?
I say it every week when somebody asks me, to win, we've got to control the line of scrimmage on both sides of the football, and especially against a team like Belfry. Their Coach Haywood's been there. I think this is his 40th season at Belfry, and he's not changed a whole lot. He's stuck with what's successful, and I think that's what successful coaches do.
Yep.
And we just got to keep pushing and keep working that and being physical. Physical, and then on the defensive side of the ball, like I mentioned, being disciplined. They test you over and over and over again and see if you're going to be able to have the composure to stop it, and if you don't, it's a long night.
Yep. Yep, you're exactly right. That's you lead right into another question. What do you expect from Belfry and Coach Haywood's offense? And you just covered it. We've watched Belfry many years, played against them, watched them in youth football, watched them in middle school football. They do the same things over and over, but they do them. They're very disciplined.
Yep.
They execute well, and they do it from youth football all the way up. And that's something that we're going to see tomorrow night and see how our guys react to that. When you look back, I think about Breathitt making the trip in 1994. I think I was a junior when we won over in Death Valley. You think about 2002, 2007, 2008, the different years that Belfry's been right here on this field playing in quarterfinal games or second-round games, and we've always had that rivalry with them in the season and within the playoffs. Dig back in your archives. Think back about some of your Belfry moments and share a couple of those with us, if you will.
Yeah, I was late getting started into football. I got to start. I never touched football until I got in 8th grade hardly. So I think that was 1994. That was that same year.
Yeah.
I was an 8th grader, but my first experience against playing Belfry was my junior year. We played them here early in the season, and we're fortunate enough to get a win against them. We were a really talented team in 1997, and then got into coaching in 05, and then got to be a part of those coaching staffs in 07, 08.
Yep.
And then in 12, I think was the last
Yep.
time we played them. They knocked us out of the regional championship. So,
Yep.
no matter when we've played them, if it's regular season or in the postseason, they've always been big games. But seemed like more often than not, but when we were in the same classification, it met up in big games, or semifinal games, regional championships, and just always just a tremendous football game.
Yeah. You talk about those those different years, and we talk about the offense that Coach Haywood's going to bring and the players that they grow just like we try to do from a young age all the way up through high school. How do you think the offensive and the defensive lines for our guys are going to compare with Belfry's? We talk about controlling the line of scrimmage and getting those short yardage situations and just owning that line of scrimmage. How do you expect our guys to tee up with them?
I think it's going to be a tough task. They're extremely well coached and very talented up front, and they play a lot of guys, especially on the defensive side. I think in the film we traded, I think we counted about 8 D linemen going in and out for them, and so they're going to be fresh. And I think we've got a little bit of a size advantage on them for the most part. We got our offensive line, especially, is pretty big.
Yeah. So
we're a running football team anyway. That's what we kind of try to hang our hat on is run. We're a run first team, so it's going to be a big task. But our guys have been working really hard. We've been pushing and being familiar with those that we know what they're going to do and they know what we're going to do, and it's just a matter of who's willing to keep doing it when it gets tough.
Yep. Who's there at the fourth quarter? That's when it matters in a game like this. These two are going to go back and forth. I kind of compared this rivalry to when I was a freshman team, JV team. I kind of compared it to Whitesburg. We were always in a big rivalry with Whitesburg. Mountain teams, you touched on it, hard-nosed football. So many fans going to take part in this, fans from different schools all across the state. It's a big matchup, not just Eastern Kentucky, but for the whole state. And even when you go back online and you start doing a little research and you watch some videos from other years, the very first thing that opens up in a game of this magnitude is this is the best game in the state tonight. And, folks, you're going to have that here tomorrow night on Bluegrass Sports Nation. What to you, Coach, what does this mean to our players? What does it mean to our coaching staff? What does it mean to this program to have come this far in a year and to have a game like Belfry here on this field and for this community?
Oh, it's great. It's a great thing for us. To battle the things we've battled in the last year, and to have just the buzz and excitement about a game like this, and a rivalry game, and like you said, maybe the best game in the state going on this weekend. And of course we're biased, but we feel like that. And these guys, they've gotten the best of us the last few years, and our middle school guys have played them. Even though we haven't played high school since 2012, our middle school guys have got to play them several times, and they've got the best of us the last couple of times. And I remember after one of those, I spoke to those kids just a few minutes. They were with heartbroken. I made them a promise out there that eventually, before they got out of school, we would try to work it out where they'd have another shot at Belfry, and it just happened to line up like that. So we're super excited about it. Our coaches are excited. You know, all of our coaches are Breathitt Bobcats, and you know, the games have always meant something to them. So you know, we're all just teed up and ready to go, I guess.
Yeah, I was thinking about that on the way here. I hadn't really thought about it until I started thinking about the Lumberjacks playing in Morgan County tonight. And the first thing I thought was, you know, we probably could have sat down, and we've got probably a different story from a coach all the way from the third grade all the way into the high school, a different Belfry memory or a different Belfry moment in a big game with these guys. So changing gears and to kind of wind things up here, being the director in the athletic department, tell us a little bit more about what's going on at Breathitt High this season and in this new school year. Tell us a few things going on athletic.
Oh yeah, we always got a bunch of stuff going on. You know, the fall we're getting kicked off. We've got you know, several teams going. Our volleyball teams in the swing of things now. They're always a competitive team and you know, a regional contender, and you know, they're just getting started. You know, played a really good Knott County team last night. And got some big games coming up, big matches coming up. Golf plays. They got a match. They got a thing Saturday, and then All A starts Monday. So that's big for them coming up. Middle school girls basketball starting. We got elementary girls basketball starting. Cross country. You know, we got several things. Our cheerleading group is just one of the hardest working groups we've got in the school system. And
middle school plays here Saturday, is that right?
Middle school plays, I think Madison Middle here Saturday at 5:30. Middle school football team had a big win last week against Boyle County. And, you know, speaking of football, our feeder programs are really knocking it out of the park right now with the Lumberjacks. They, you know, get tremendous amount of coaching from great coaches and got a great group of kids. And then our middle school is just, you know, is taking off too. So just an exciting time on all athletics.
Yeah, it really is. Folks, tomorrow night, Belfry and the Bobcats here at the Mike Holcomb Athletic Complex. If my figures serve me right in the reading and research I've done, the series is 9-9. So we're going to come in here tomorrow and look for a rubber match, if you will, and see who comes out on top. It's going to be an exciting night of football. We've tried to give you a little bit of introduction, and like we said earlier in the show, straight from the mouth of Kyle Moore, folks. This show you're going to catch live every week here on Bluegrass Sports Nation, and we'll update you a little bit about what went on the week before and preview the game coming up and just talk a little bit about sports and a few things going on in the community in the area. So we look forward to seeing you tomorrow night on Bluegrass Sports Nation. Coach Moore, best of luck, buddy. Appreciate you, everything you do for the program. Good to see you out tonight, and we'll see you here tomorrow night on Bluegrass Sports Nation.
Okay, thank you too, Rob.